Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
What's good, everybody? My name is Nico Blitz.
And I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And this is the Mexipino podcast. I don't know the number exactly. Maybe 47. I think it's 47. Yes.
That's what it says in our notes.
That's what it says in the notes. Number 47. And we're kind of in this weird space between, like, Christmas and New Year's. Like, how come there's no, like, I don't know, saying for this time of the year, like this week?
It's just... we want the year to be over with already at this point.
That's what it feels like, right?
That's what a lot of people, I think, feel like. Nobody wants to work either, you know?
Well, so your dad's kind of in a weird situation right now because he obviously had, like, some days off before Christmas. He had COVID a while ago.
Yeah.
So he had, like, the COVID days off. Then he had, like, the pre-Christmas days off. And then now he's working for like 3 days, and then he's off again for like 5, which includes the weekend and 2 days after New Year's. And I'm just like, they can just give you like 2 weeks off. Like,
yeah, it's confusing. I think it just feels really weird because, especially my dad's situation, because he had COVID and he was sick. And it just feels like he's like was on a long vacation already.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people are just like they only have like the Monday after Christmas and the Friday before Christmas off, and then the Friday before New Year's, and then the Monday after New Year's off.
It's so weird. I think it's really weird. Just because, like, for the first time in a long time, I don't know, like 7 years actually. So it was the first time in like 7 years where both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day land on a Saturday and Sunday.
Well, you know that the Rose Parade is going to be on a Monday for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, because like, not for the first time, actually, I don't know. But it's going to be on January 2nd as opposed to January 1st because they have a tradition of not doing it on Sundays.
Oh, okay. So it's probably the first time in like 7 years or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
So I guess 2023 is just looking like it's going to be a whole new year of just different. It seems like everything's on time then, right? Like I would think that like a New Year's starts on like a Sunday, Monday, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, are you referring it to us also as like the Holy Week too? Like,
well, no, because like the week technically starts on a Sunday, so then like the fact that the New Year starts on a Sunday, you get what I'm saying?
That's actually a very like good like question because for a lot of people, some like the week starts on a Sunday, and then for other people, the week starts on a Monday, which is weird.
I get what you mean. I mean, like the work week, starts on a Monday, but like I'm already thinking like, well, shoot, like I got to start doing stuff even if it doesn't pertain to work on Sunday.
No, for me, like Sunday is like number one. I don't know, like I refer to it like that.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
And 2 is Monday, 3 is Tuesday. But for most people, Monday is 1. Does that make sense?
No, yeah,
when
it does make sense.
Like 7 days of the week.
Yeah.
Some people will start on Monday, and I start on Sunday.
Well, if we all refer to one of my favorite songs ever, it's called Saturday Love, and it goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They don't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. But in Japanese class in high school, I learned the days of the week by a song. Nichigetsu ka suimoku kindo nichigetsu ka, and it starts with I think it starts with Sunday. Nichigetsu ka, nichigetsu ka suimoku kindo nichigetsu ka. That's how I learned. No, it's nichigetsu ka.
Nichigetsu ka
Suimoku kindo.
Suimoku kindo. Moku kindo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough like Japanese for me. Yeah. Arigato, Mr. Roboto, and all our Japanese listeners. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully we got some Japanese listeners. Yeah. Speaking of Japan too, like if we it's funny that you mentioned that because I think it's actually in Japan where they tried like a 3-day work week.
A lot of like foreign countries are doing that. Like
it's smart.
New Zealand has already implemented it, I think.
Yeah.
Or 4-day work week, something like that. And it works out better.
Well,
we're just behind like always, America.
Yeah, I mean a 3 or 4 day work week, right? Like that you basically get your week like cut in half. I'd probably lean toward like a 4-day work week I'm not a 9-to-5er at all whatsoever, right? But like if it was up to me, I think I would probably lean to like a 3 to 4, like a 4-day work week, just because I feel like I can get a lot of stuff done in 4 days, and having 4 days off in a row just kind of feels very elongated. Because you think about it, we have 3-day weekends already, and that third day is really just like the resting day from the weekend. Yeah. So imagine having like a fourth day on top of that. It's like, shoot, like what do I do? Because I already did stuff on day 1 and day 2.
I get you. I feel like I would lean more towards a 4-day work week too.
Yeah.
I cannot do nothing for a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, not implying that people wouldn't do nothing for like 4 days
I'm just
straight.
saying, what if like you treat it like a weekend? You don't want to do anything on the weekend. You get me?
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, like I said, you could crank out so much in about 4 days. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a lot. It's a lot to have like 4 days off.
It's a lot.
But I mean, if I were to like recall this particular article about having like, a couple days off, I think they were saying that people were actually more productive during the time that they had, because you're working basically like 24 hours. Hypothetically, you're working 8, 16, 24. That's 3 days, right? And just cranking out more work during that little amount of time. Because think about you trying to make a deadline, and then your boss is like, you got like literally 3 days to do it. It's more productive.
Now, are you getting paid less or more?
I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're on salary, right? Because you just got to get it done. And now, if you are working on hourly, that kind of does suck.
Yeah. But I would assume that they just kind of like, I don't know. We're not pro. Like, they probably like fix the pay system or whatever.
Well, shoot.
I don't know.
I mean, we're in America where everyone wants to hire people for cheap and get the most out of them.
We're also in America. We're probably not going to do that anytime soon. New Zealand and the rest of the world has it figured out.
Yeah, shout out to them. I mean, New Zealand does get their hours. They get the new year first, right? So they're like 16 or like 18 hours ahead of like Pacific Standard Time. Well, we're last. Oh, no, actually, like I think Hawaii's last.
Yeah, Hawaii's last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
so then New Zealand's first.
I don't know.
No, it is. So like I remember like when we were on Twitch. No, I know this for a fact.
No,
when
we
were
on
Twitch.
Ask Siri to confirm your Hey Siri. You guys are actually watching. Who starts off the new year first in the world?
1 sec.
Oh.
First of all, her Siri's a guy?
Yeah, I put a British Siri.
That's cool.
Who gets the new year first in the world?
It's New Zealand. I promise you guys, it's New Zealand. It's New Zealand, bro. It's New Zealand.
It is.
That's what I was telling you.
Wait, time out.
So the reason why I know this, right, is because when we were on Twitch, there would be a couple New Zealand DJs, and basically these raid trains were, DJ 1 would raid DJ 2 at the top of the hour, then they raid DJ 3, is that the New Zealand DJs would start first. And then they would continue it so that like it would be a never-ending spiral of just like Happy New Year type of thing. You get what I'm saying?
Actually, it's not New Zealand.
It is New Zealand.
It's Samoa and Christmas Island, Kiribati at 10 a.m. and then 10:15 a.m. is New Zealand.
Okay, literally 15 minutes off.
You're wrong.
Okay, I was literally like one country off, which was just 15 minutes off?
Yeah, and then at 12 p.m., Fiji and Eastern Russia, and then Eastern Australia, which is Melbourne and Sydney.
Yes. Well, shout out to, who'd you say, Samoa?
Samoa and Christmas Island, Kiribati.
Well, shit, shouts out to the Samoans, man. Y'all get it first. Y'all are literally in the future, my friends.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And actually, Hawaii's not the last ones to get it.
Who's last then? I guess it's whoever's to the right of Samoa, right?
American Samoa is second to last, and then 12 p.m. is Baker Island, Howland Island.
Wait, there's two Samoas?
Yeah.
Wait, American Samoa?
Yeah, I guess because of like equator-wise.
Oh.
I don't know.
Damn, that sucks.
Because it's closest to the U.S. Because since Hawaii it has Samoans, like it's the Americas. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I totally
get
that.
Well,
imagine just being like, let's just say Samoa, for example, and then like the left side of Samoa gets the new year first, and then you're literally waiting an entire 24 hours just to hit the same party. You could actually have New Year's twice. Imagine going from American Samoa to like Samoa to celebrate New Year's, and then you go back to American Samoa to celebrate New Year's again.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of lit.
Wow. There's like a lot of places in Sri Lanka.
It's like Jackie didn't even listen to what
I know,
she just said. Wow.
No, I did listen to you. I'm just looking at this list because it's so fascinating. Like December 31st, like at 3 p.m., Japan, South Korea, and North Korea will already get like the New Year. At like 7 p.m., Pakistan gets it. At 4 p.m., China, Philippines, and Singapore. But they're all literally like an hour apart. It's freaking crazy. Midnight, the UK and Ireland, Ghana, Iceland, Portugal. Wow. That's so interesting. A lot of people thought it was Australia first because, okay, so it says right here that contrary to belief, contrary to popular belief, Australia, because we see like the Sydney fireworks show, a lot of people think that Australia is the first one to get it, but it's actually the like little tiny islands I talked about and New Zealand. Wow.
Yeah. Well, shouts out to Samoa. One time for the one time.
And New Zealand. You're doing it right.
Yes, they are doing it right.
But like Nico said, we were just finishing. We're in this like weird phase of finishing up Christmas and waiting for the New Year, which we have to drive to Vegas. But for Christmas, it was super. This was actually the first Christmas that Nico spent with my family.
Yeah,
we've been together for 2 years, and yeah, the first year we didn't spend Christmas with each other. The second year, we spent it. How long have we been together? Was I going to say third year?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I'm right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
Why does that sound weird? Why are we together for 2 years, but we've been through 3 Christmas?
We spent 2020 Christmas not doing anything, 2021 Christmas with my family, 2022 Christmas with your family.
So is that like year 0? So how long have we been, what? I'm so confused right now. Does that sound confusing to you as it does to me?
Do you want to take some caffeine?
No, I'm being dead serious.
No, it's not confusing. It's really not confusing. All right, let's keep the ball rolling, though, because we spent Christmas with Jackie's family this year. And apparently they make tamales in Mexican households for Christmas.
Most. We never did. But this was actually like my sister-in-law, Denise, has been making tamales with her family for years. Mm-hmm. And this year she wanted to make the tamales for our family, for like my brother's side of the family, not her side of the family, tamales for Christmas. And we were in charge of it. And Nico and I went over to help out this year. And we made, how much did we make? 45 pounds of tamales.
Yeah, well, 45 pounds of mesa? Masa.
Mesa is table.
La mesa is table in Tagalog. But yeah, we made 43 pounds worth of mesa. Masa. Jesus Christ.
Clearly God. Nico's not listening to what I'm saying. But yeah, we did 45 pounds of tamales, all like pork, beef, chicken, dulce ones. What else did we make? Rajas. It was so good. But like, we have way too many tamales right now.
It was a lot, y'all. So to kind of put into perspective, by the time I got to Denise, Jackie's sister-in-law's house, like, they were already cooking. And I was in charge of wrapping the tamales in, some paper, some sheet paper. And it was the start of it. The sheet paper had maybe like 500 sheets. By the time I was done wrapping, and I wrapped literally every single one, it was maybe like 300. We wrapped literally around 300 tamales by the end of the night.
It was a lot. Denise still has some. She's making some she's like just cooking the rest for New Year's. And then, or she already cooked it, I don't know. And then we're just using it for New Year's for our family. And then we're also taking some to your family.
I mean, it's just a lot.
It's just a lot. But imagine like, that was we're barely scratching the surface, if anything. Like
that's a lot. You're barely scratching the surface with 300 tamales?
There's people who make tamales and take orders for Christmas. Let's say we did like 6 dozen of like pork this year.
Okay.
And 5 dozen of chicken. There are people who take orders and they have like 20 dozen of pork to do, 20 dozen of pollo to do, and we barely did 5 or 6.
I just don't know what you would do with like that many tamales. I mean,
they sell them and they like take orders for other families because other families aren't going to take the time to do that, you know?
Okay, so then hypothetically, how much would a tamale be if I would just like buy one off the street?
Now you're looking at like $3 to $4. But when
$3 to $4 a tamale?
Yeah, but when I was younger, a tamale was like 75 cents a dollar.
Oh, so basically they're getting played. You're getting played if you buy a tamale right now. $4?
$4 probably for like $3 to $4 for a single tamale. But when I was younger, inflation, it was 75 cents, and a champurrado was like $1.25. There was this lady always at like the corner of my school where all the grandmas and all the moms would go before school. Mm-hmm. You buy a tamal, you buy a champurrado, and then I'd go in. My grandma would like, get a champurrado for me. She'd buy tamales for herself, and then I'd eat one when I get out of school. Yeah.
And then how much would that cost? Like $2, right?
Like $5 at most, because we got like 3 tamales and a champurrado. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't buying that.
But now it's just $5 probably for like a tamal.
Yeah, forget all that. I'd much rather just do what we did and like sit down, prep everything, because if you're telling me you can pop $4 for one of them joints, if we make 12, we're making $48 off every bag. You make your money back off one bag.
Yeah. But it's a lot of work, babe. You know how much work it is, obviously,
It was. I mean, you guys started like at 12 and
12:30.
Then like the between like the preparation and like
that's just
making
prepping.
everything.
That's just prepping. Like my mom helped cook the pollo like that morning.
Oh.
And then Denise, my sister-in-law, made the pork and the beef like I think the night before. Yeah, it's a lot of prep.
Oh, so it's damn near like a 24-hour job.
Yeah.
God bless you. What I didn't know, though, was the fact that you could freeze these tamales and they could last for like up to a year. That's what Denise said. Jackie's sister-in-law literally said, we can freeze these tamales and... No, your brother.
Babe, I think they're
Jackie's brother said... Yeah, bro, we're still using up the tamales from last year. I'm like, what do you mean from last year? Like, yeah, we made some last year and we could freeze them for like a year and use them now. I'm like, dog, like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, babe. They were pulling your leg a little bit. They're not gonna last a full year.
Okay, I don't know this. So when when someone tells me this information, I'm gonna deem it as true. And then people want to talk to me about leftovers after 4 days.
Tamales you can keep for like a month, maybe, like in the freezer. Yeah, probably. I would say so. But I eat them like we eat the leftover tamales so quickly that they don't even like last a week.
I mean, I bet. I mean, I wouldn't want that food to go to waste, despite if you like freeze it or not.
I also saw someone that they were like either cooking or reheating their tamales in air fryers now.
Denise was telling me about that.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's cooking or reheating it.
I mean, I think me personally, I mean, I haven't done this, but I would rather throw a tamale back in the air fryer than I would in the microwave,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, let me tell you, when it comes to reheating tamales, I don't like putting them in their microwave. I'd rather put them on this thing. It's called a comal, which is like, I don't know, a griddle in English. I'm not sure. But it's just basically like a flat pan on the stove. And I'd rather heat up my tamal that way because I love when the tamales come out really crispy. Yeah, but if like a microwave, you just heat it up.
Yeah, I could imagine like the masa becoming a little bit more mushy at that point. Yeah.
But if the comal, it's almost like burnt and it's like crispy. Oh, it's so good. Reheated tamales are the best as opposed to like when you first get them out of like the actual olla.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Wait, what is oh yeah? Because like your mom just kept on saying get the oh yeah, and I kept on saying oh yeah.
Olla is the big pot that we were putting on the stove to cook the tamales.
Oh,
that's called an olla.
Oh yeah.
That's. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Lord Jesus.
Something that also happened on Christmas is that I officially got donned my Mexican card, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo.
My Mexican card was given to me.
Period.
By the sheriff of Los Angeles.
No, don't say that. He's not the sheriff of Los Angeles.
Oh, well, the sheriff of La Puente.
Yeah. I mean, no.
Yes.
By a sheriff deputy.
The sheriff deputy of La Puente donned me with a Mexican card.
Okay, really, really quickly. There's only one sheriff.
Well, I thought he was the sheriff.
No.
Even in your context, it says the sheriff. So
yeah,
he's the sheriff.
because I make fun of him and he's my uncle. That's why. But there's only one sheriff, and that's like the head guy.
Okay.
That's the one that's elected sheriff.
Okay.
Everyone else is a deputy.
So let me restate this. I officially got my Mexican card by the sheriff deputy of La Puente over this past Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
AKA my uncle. Well, because Nico wanted to do something for my family, like something fun for Christmas. And Nico ended up, we went to Northgate Market. If you know Northgate Market, shout out Northgate Market.
Shout out Northgate.
They got some fire horchata, and yeah, it's really good. But anyway, we were in line, and then Nico sees cantarito. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Nico sees a cantarito, and he's just like, "Oh my God, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy it, and we'll make a big like cantarito for your family. We'll put like tequila, we'll make palomas in it, and blah 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 blah." And I was just like, "Oh, yeah. Okay." Like it was very like quick, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy it."
And if you don't know what the cantarito is, it's like a couple episodes ago we talked about Jackie's family going to Mexico, and it was me explaining it looks like a big ass Winnie the Pooh jar.
Yes, it's a clay jug.
Clay jug.
That is very popular in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nico wanted to buy it, and he bought it. And then the next day we go to Christmas. We spend Christmas Eve with my family and Christmas Day. And then he walks in, or he tells me on the way there to my family, he's like, "Okay, here's the game plan. You're going to go and you're going to get all the adults in one room, and you're going to say, 'Hey guys, like Nico and I have an announcement.'" I'm like, skirt. Wait, hold on. When you say that in a Mexican family and you are unwed, you are asking for an ass kicking. He's like, "Yeah, just go in there and say, you know, Nico and I have an announcement. Nico wanted to do something special since it was the first year that he was here with our family and blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
I was like, and in my head, I'm like, I'll do this for you because I love you. But at the same time, I don't want to get my ass kicked by my parents.
And mind you, every time there's been like a special announcement at Jackie's family parties, it has either been there's a baby coming or someone is getting married.
That is big facts, actually. That is big facts. But yeah, so we get them to my family's house, and then we get there. I get all the adults into the garage, and then Nico, so I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get it. I'm like, "Okay, all right, here it goes." So then I tell everybody, I'm like, "All right, guys, Nico and I have a special announcement." And everybody just stopped in their tracks. They were like, quiet. I've never heard my family so quiet. They're the loudest people on earth, and I have never heard my family so quiet. And then Nico's all like, "All right, guys, well, I want to do something special since it was my first Christmas with you guys." And Jackie and I was all like, "Don't say Jackie and I when you're doing this." And then he pulls out the cantarito, and everyone gets so happy and excited. And my mom, you could see my mom's like sigh of relief on her face, like, "Thank God." And then everyone they're like, "Welcome to the family, Nico," because he brought alcohol.
Yeah, no, well, because I had the idea of bringing it with the cantarito. Cantarito. And so the funny part about this, like all you really had to do was pour the tequila.
No, the ice.
The ice, pour the tequila, and then pour like 2
bottles of squirt. And then
salt. Some salt, maybe some tahini and whatnot, right? We're going to actually get back to the tahini in just a second too.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was that as we're pouring, Jackie's like, yo, how come there's like a weird, how come there's water like running down my leg? And then we both looked down. It turns out there was like the tiniest hole inside the pot and all the liquid was coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So upset.
Yeah.
So upset.
So then everyone's like, oh, it's okay. So we put it in another pan. And we were just like, okay, well, we already made it. So we just poured the rest into a pan. And there was a hole in the cantarito, which we need to return to Northgate, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God.
Well, we want to go to this tweet.
Yes, we want to get to this tweet because Nico mentioned tajin right now. And I am literally ready to fight everybody's, one of everybody's. Well, hold on. Let me get my thoughts together.
She's fighting her words right now.
I am. One of everybody's favorite Bay Area rappers. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. I am ready to fight one of everybody's favorite Bay Area rappers, Pilo, because he tweeted literally yesterday. I have the tweet right here. I don't know who needs to hear this, but tajin is ass.
I don't know, P. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like tajin.
Pilo, I like you, my guy. I really do. I'm a huge fan, but this wasn't it, my guy.
So, okay, if I can kind of play devil's advocate, right? Let's say I'm in the middle and then it's like Pilo on one side, you on another side. I don't like it when tajin is when there's too much tajin on the drinks. Because sometimes it's like a really good drink, right? Like a michelada, for example. But if there's too much tajin, it's like, dude, there's way too much spice on it and I can't taste the alcohol anymore.
Okay, but I think what you guys are talking about is probably the chamoy and not the tajin part. Because I can agree that there can be too much chamoy, which then in turn makes you think it's the tajin.
Yeah.
But tajin is not ass. Tajin makes fruit hella good. No matter what type of fruit you could put tajin on strawberries and it tastes good.
Yeah, you're right.
So tajin is not ass. I was literally so mad. I was like, what the shit, man?
But if you look at the context, he's actually talking about specifically drinks. So I'm not gonna fight you and say don't put tajin on your fruit because it actually tastes 1,000 times better, and I'm not gonna lie on that. But I think when you put a lot of tajin in drinks, it kind of just it takes away from the drink a little bit too much.
No, we're fighting. And next time I see Pilo, it's on site. It's on site. Next time you come to the station, P, it's on site, dog.
Oh my God! Shout out to Pilo. I mean, I hope he didn't lose some of the Hispanic fan base.
It was so funny because his manager Calais, his manager Calais tweeted back. He's all "This isn't good for the Latin base. Please delete management."
I think so. You know what you need to do? I think next time you see Pilo, you need to bring a michelada mix, and you just need to force him to drink it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't force anybody to drink anything or consume any sort of alcohol.
Yeah. See, shout out to Miles Parrish because he even said to Pilo, "You're canceled."
Oh my God. Well, Miles is a portion Mexican.
Hey, Miles been in touch with his Mexican roots as of lately too.
Yeah.
I've been seeing on his Instagram stories he's been going to some paisa ass parties.
Wait, has he really?
Yeah, he's been with the banda, the norteño. So shout out Miles. He's getting in touch with his Mexican side. I respect it. He has boots and everything. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. The other day he was up at 4 a.m. with a banda, which is a Spanish band.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was it was literally 4 a.m. and I was just like, Oh, you Mexican now.
Man, he is. I mean, like, shit. He was telling us he thinks he's part Mexican on the podcast. So,
I think he said he was part.
He's part.
Like a distant part.
Yeah, because he was saying that, like, he has, like, some relatives over in Texas. So, like, there might have been some sort of, like, chain and whatnot. Jackie looks flabbergasted right now.
We're also fighting DJ E-Rock. E-Rock is on site, dog. He said, agreed, straight ass.
Okay, I mean, shit. I don't know, man.
Everyone wants all the smoke. Everyone wants all the smoke.
Y'all making the Filipinos look bad in front of the Mexican community, y'all.
I'm gonna say
Come
it.
on,
I'm
bro.
gonna say it. Jollibee spaghetti is ass. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't like Jollibee spaghetti.
I'm gonna leave.
Fight me.
I'm literally gonna leave.
You're gonna
Jollibee spaghetti's gas. It's gas.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm gonna be honest. I love you, babe.
Oh my god.
I love you, babe. And I know this is a Mexipino podcast, and I know I'm gonna upset a lot of people right now, but I don't really like Filipino spaghetti that much. I love Filipinos, but I don't like. I'm not saying I hate it. Maybe I could grow to like it, but I don't like it right now. Filipino spaghetti. I feel like it's just too sweet. There's something about it that just tastes different, and no me gusta.
So I think the same way Pilo's about to get canceled by his Mexican fan base, I think you're about to get canceled by at least half our fan base.
At least half.
Because all the Filipinos are gonna be like, you don't like Filipino spaghetti. You're like DJ Zoe. You're literally like DJ Zoe. Zoe prefers Italian spaghetti with his Italian Filipino ass, and I'm like, bro.
I'll take
there's nothing like Filipino spaghetti.
I'll take pesto pasta over Filipino spaghetti any
right.
day. What do you mean? You're gonna tell me?
God.
You're gonna tell me that if we went to Italy and tried spaghetti over there, that you're gonna think it's not better than Filipino spaghetti?
I'm not saying that, but you're saying Filipino spaghetti is ass.
I may have exaggerated.
It's like, dude, that's one thing you and Pilo agree on. You both think Jollibee Filipino spaghetti is ass, which I'm like, both of you need to fix your damn taste buds.
He needs to fix his taste buds.
No, you do too, because apparently you don't like the Filipino spaghetti.
I don't.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
Well, amongst a lot of things that Jackie was getting wrong on this podcast, I was actually getting something wrong in regards to speaking to her grandmother.
Yeah. So I always told Nico, like, there's always a formal and informal way to talk in Spanish when you're talking to friends, when you're talking to elders, and and so on and so forth. And I made the mistake of telling Nico that the way he would respond to my grandma. And my grandma's actually, is that when they asked him, oh, ¿cómo estás? He would say, bien, ¿y tú? And then that's actually the wrong way. That's not good, actually. And so I told him the other day, I was like, hey, it was actually Christmas Eve. And then I was just like, hey, actually, like, I think I've been telling you to respond to my grandma's in the wrong way. So when you respond, say, bien, ¿y usted? Which is like a much more formal way and respectful way of saying it.
Yeah.
And literally, I told him like 5 minutes before we got to the house, and he was just saying it in his over and over. Y usted.
Well, so, I kind of have like a little trick when it comes to like remembering certain things. And me being a DJ, I'm always remembering things through song. Mm-hmm. So I kept on saying, you stay. And then like a song popped in my head. Y'all might remember it. It's called You Stay by DJ Khaled. And it literally goes like, you stay. So we literally started playing it in the car. And by the way, I did not know Bad Bunny was actually on that song. So very funny shit.
He is?
Or
it's
J Balvin. J Balvin, my fault.
Get it right.
Oh my God. Okay, J Balvin's actually on the song. But nonetheless.
Just because they're all Latino doesn't mean they're all Bad Bunny.
Just because it's Filipino spaghetti doesn't mean it's bad.
That's the real rule.
Oh my God. But nonetheless, I kept on remembering how to respond to her. Instead of saying tu, I'd be like, you stay. And it worked. Now I remember it.
Wow. Yeah, and it did work. And my grandmas were like, oh, like.
I know, they were so impressed, and I was so happy that they were impressed. Like, I saw all their eyes like light up, and I'm just like, oh, like, this is a huge plus right now.
Yeah, it is. Because then they were like, oh, he's learning Spanish. I'm like, not really, but okay. Like, he just knows how to say this. That's it.
I'm learning a little bit.
I will say, I wish, like, you did like learn a little bit more Spanish.
I'll learn Spanish. I mean, okay. I mean, we'll jump to that toward the end of the podcast. New Year's resolutions.
No, we're gonna keep on talking about Spanish because what?
No, I'm saying we're gonna jump to that portion of what I wanted to say in the New Year's resolution portion of the podcast.
Oh,
later on.
But I wanted to talk about like something else.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right. What? I don't know. This podcast is all over the place right now. Not really, but kind of.
No, it's okay.
But well, the thing is too, like, I want Nico to learn Spanish because when you're dating outside of your culture, it's very hard to explain certain phrases that just don't translate correctly into English. Because like I've seen this on social media already, that like when you're dating outside of your culture, it's hard to explain phrases that are, in Spanish or in Tagalog to English because they don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Nico one time, like I was rubbing myself, or I was like, I think I was rubbing one of my like little cousins who got hit. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, sana colita de rana. But I can't explain that to Nico because it literally translates to like rub butt of the frog.
Which
makes no sense. Like,
if you literally said that in English, I'd be like, what does that even mean?
Yeah,
rub the butt of the frog?
Yeah, sana colita de rana. Like yeah, I don't know. It works in Spanish.
What? But I mean, like, where does that even come from?
I don't even know, but it just makes sense. It's something that you learn when you're a kid because your parents do it. It just keeps on going. It'd
be hella funny is if, like, I get, like, physically hurt in front of your grandma's, and then I'm just like, rub butt of the frog.
Well, they wouldn't even understand you because they don't speak English. And then there's the like, escodo. Like, codo means, like, elbow. But when you're saying escodo, like, when you're describing someone, you're like, oh, escodo. You're literally saying he's an elbow in English, but it means that he's stingy or that he's stubborn, but stingy with money.
So that I think I might get because the elbow's pretty hard. So I'm thinking maybe like hard-headed. I think it kind of derives from like hard-headed. So like if you're hard-headed when it comes to your money, I guess that would kind of mean
but like literal translation is like you're an elbow.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And then
You're a freaking elbow.
And then my dad was telling you the other day about pedo. So pedo literally translates to fart, and that's the word fart.
Like P-E-D-O?
P-E-D-O, yeah, pedo. But if you're describing like, oh, estás pedo, like that also means you're drunk. Not
it
like
means you're drunk. So
it
like,
means you're
so
drunk.
if
so if
you
like,
asked me like,
no, like if you're drunk and and somebody's like talking to me about you and like literally like talking about how you're drinking and how you're drunk. Okay. I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna ask me like, oh, es pedo? I'm like, yeah, he's drunk. But it literally is asking. It would
translate to like, is he a fart?
Yeah. And then another one's like, oh, que pedo? Like you're saying que pedo, which means like, what's up? Or que pedo, like, oh wow, like really? Que pedo? But you're literally saying
kind of like the.
Yeah, so que pedo literally translates into what fart, but you're asking what's up.
So I could possibly say like que paso pedo.
What's happening? What?
Que pasa pedo? Like what's up, fart? Right?
No, because que pasa and que pedo are the same.
Okay. I got you. So que pedo is like what's up.
What's up?
Que pasa is
like
also
what's
like,
happening.
Okay,
or like
okay.
what's the haps, you know?
What's the haps on the craps?
Yeah.
So that's what, okay.
You get me? So like it's very hard when Nico doesn't understand these phrases.
Que pedo.
Que pedo.
Okay. I see. I can slowly start integrating that into my vernacular, my Spanish vernacular.
But it like pedo means fart, and you're just kind of like using it in different contexts. Like it's just like
if
Spanish.
I could say this, I think that it makes sense because a fart is an air filler, and Pedo, in this sense,
Babe,
would
stop
mean
trying to make
it
sense
is
of it.
that would mean it's a space filler for words.
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
I think you're looking too deep into
I
it.
think that's it, Pedo.
Did you just call me fart?
That makes sense, right?
No.
I think that's it, Pedo.
No, you can't say it like that.
Why can't I say it like that?
Because it doesn't make sense when you say it like that.
Okay, how about like...
It's not a space filler. It's just the way we use it for certain phrases.
Could I say estoy pedo?
I'm drunk. Yeah.
It kind of sounds like estúpido. Yeah, that was lit, huh? That was good, huh? That was good.
That was good, babe.
Estúpido.
Estúpido.
Estoy pedo.
Estúpido.
Estúpido.
Yeah.
There's actually, okay, so believe it or not, this actually happens in Tagalog as well. And so I remember growing up, right? My dad would refrain from obviously saying bad words when me and Sabrina were kids. So my dad would say this one phrase, and it is anak ng tinapay.
Son of bread?
Oh, not son of bread, but like child of bread.
Child of bread.
And I'd just be like, what exactly do you mean by like child of bread? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
tinapay.
Yeah, anak ng tinapay. And I'd be like, what do you mean, like son of bread, daughter of bread? Like, this shit it makes no freaking sense right now. And so, you start to grow up and you come to realize that maybe he was just trying to say like son of a bitch without saying son of a bitch, which would actually translate to like anak ng aso. Or anak ng, yeah, shit like that. And I'm just like, bro, like, I think my dad tried to use tinapay as kind of like a space filler.
But is that just like your dad thing, or is that a thing?
Well, so I thought it was like my dad's thing, but like I literally typed in Google anak ng tinapay just to see if anything showed up. Mm-hmm. And there's actually a book. It's a book called Anak ng Tinapay.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, and basically the way it's translated into English on this book is the baker's daughter.
Baker's daughter.
Yeah, so like
the baker's
daughter.
The baker's daughter's a bitch.
No, oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, shit.
Oh, see, you can make jokes, but when I try and make a joke, it's like, oh my god.
I mean, shoot, if she was slanging the tinapay for like $4 a pop, yeah, she'd be a bitch.
Hey. Sir.
This goes back to I ain't buying no tamales for $4. I ain't buying bread for no $4.
You'd buy a tamale for $4.
I would not buy it for because some of the tamales that that was being made were like super duper small, and I said to myself, if I bought a $4 tamale and it was this small, bro, like hell no. I needed the super stuffed one, the fat one.
That's what he said.
Oh God. How the roles have reversed. How the turns have tabled.
How the turns table.
No, so I think basically the anak ng tinapay is basically just like this girl who she's the baker's daughter, but then she doesn't necessarily want to be a baker when she grows up. So it's about like her journey of like trying to tell her dad, like, I don't want to be a baker growing up.
This is your dream, Dad, not mine.
Basically.
Storms out of the bakery. Ends up coming back and being a baker anyway.
Yeah, basically. And then she ends up, I mean, I don't know. I haven't read this damn book. But shout out to Anak ng Tinapay. Shout out to your tatay or nanay, gusto mong tinapay, if they want an Anak ng Tinapay book on sale right now for 200 pesos. And it literally is 200 pesos.
This is not an ad. He just knows this. He just knows this.
And shout out to Google for all the information that I read up last year.
If your parents did use Anak ng Tinapay. Wow, I said that good.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Period.
Amen to that. So speaking of doing things, never mind. I couldn't even get into like a weird transition after that. We're just gonna jump into it, man. New Year's resolutions. We did this last year. I don't necessarily remember my New Year's resolutions from last year.
You know what? We should do a live like reaction to it.
I don't know if we could get into that portion of the pod. Can we?
Yeah.
Do you know where to look?
Yeah. We probably labeled it like New Year's resolutions too.
No, we did, but then like the part of the podcast is what I'm saying.
I think the whole thing is like our
it's
New
the
Year's
whole
resolution.
yeah. Well, do you remember like any of your resolutions?
I think it was to not care what people think of me.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Period. I found it. Stupid YouTube ads.
Yeah. I mean, we could just come up with new resolutions now.
All right. Well, there's literally 5 seconds left. People don't care, babe. They like authenticity.
Exactly what happened last week. I just know
Look.
there was a
Oh,
lot.
wow.
Oh,
wow.
So it was a very...
Let's see. Oh, we were talking about Christmas right here.
My dad's side of the...
Your dad's side of the family. When your dad said amen.
Oh,
that I'm tired of, like, you know, my job. I was just tired of, you know,
Driving.
Ooh, wow. I don't know.
And it kind of just kept on going after that. Times,
You said a lot.
6269 market with AJ Raphael.
Oh, you were talking about the rest of your year. I don't know. I want to look into it. It's fine. We could just make New Year's resolutions. New year
Yes.
resolutions.
Yeah.
So Nico's looking at me crazy, guys.
What are your New Year's resolutions?
My New Year's resolutions are to get in shape, number one. Because I feel like I've been lacking on my physical body health.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just want to get into a really good, like, feel-good stage. Another resolution is to cover my first red carpet. And I want to continue covering red carpets after that. So I think, like, you know, my first one will happen this year, and then so will a whole bunch of others. Do a lot of freelancing, hosting gigs as far as, like, with bigger companies. I want to do, like, stuff with a bunch of different, like, clothing brands. I just want to be able to be like a brand ambassador, but a host for a certain company, a big organization. I also, is this weird? I think this is going to come off very vain, but I want to get to a point where a brand will pay me and fly me out for a hosting gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like if there's something in New York, you know, I want to be flown out. If there's something across, like, the world to cover a red carpet or something.
Yeah.
I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. I also want to attend, like, an award show. Like Grammys, Oscars, something like that.
Those
Latin
are fun.
Grammys, BET.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Those are fun. I think you'll get to those.
Yeah, and then obviously us moving together. That's a New Year's resolution. I want us to hit another milestone in our relationship, whatever it may be. Like, I just want us to just really achieve something that we both want for our future.
Yeah.
And then health, wealth, happiness.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Well, my New Year's resolutions would be to work out at least twice a week in some way, shape, or form. And learn some Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it?
Simple. Yeah. I mean, that's really it. Everything else I could basically have control over. Like, I would say, like, DJ in different states, but it's like that's already happening. So if I could try to DJ in a different state, like, every month, that would be actually really great. So we'll see where we can go with that. That's really it. Super simple. Super simple. You know, and visit home as much as possible, but, you know, just prioritizing like my personal health and also just happiness, because wealth will come through both of those things, and I'm chilling.
Yeah.
That's it.
How do you think this past year went for you?
I think this past year was probably the best year that I've had so far, which is good because, you know, no one ever wants to be like declining over their years, right? But I think it was the best simply because I got a lot of experience under my belt for DJing, for producing a radio show, for DJing for a radio show. And, you know, literally for the entire year, whether it came down to like, you know, going to different spots around the world, I'm literally doing a crash course of that in like 1 month. And so for me to see that I can make these decisions a lot quicker and faster without even like hesitating means that I did a really good job in 2022 to set up for 2023. And because I will have accomplished those goals already by the first month, that would leave the rest of the year to start, you know, new ventures that I would like to do. Another one of my New Year's resolutions, I actually want to put out a song. I've been thinking about this for the past like month or so, just, you know, like not working or anything, but like I really want to put out a song. And I'm not saying it's going to be like a hit song or whatever. I would hope it, you know, does do that, but you know,
to manifest that.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. We'll make a hit song. It'll be either EDM or like some hip hop shit. And it's going to pop off, and that shit is going to take me everywhere. That's my resolution.
Interesting.
What about you? How was this past year for you?
I think this past year was probably one of the best years of my life. Also, one of the very testing years of my life. It was really good. There was no bad, I would say. Just a lot of like, I was being tested a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, like, you know, I did a lot of personal growth. I accomplished one of my dreams, you know, and that was just, it was a very confusing time. I was obviously like super happy that like I accomplished one of my dreams, and I wanted to be happy, and I was happy. But it was just very trying because then we had to be long distance. But overall, my year was great. I crossed out another major sport in my hosting career. 2, actually. I'm doing football and soccer now. Yeah. I was already doing baseball, did basketball. I'm on radio, and it just felt like a really good year, and I felt very happy and to be able to travel the way that we did too this year.
Yeah.
That was pretty like nice to be able to do that. And like I said, it was really testing and straining on our relationship when you moved, but it was very clarifying for me, and just like I don't think I've ever like went through that emotionally and mentally in my life in a relationship. And that was one of like the hardest moments, I guess, of the year.
Yeah, same.
And that just like, it sucked, but like it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Well needed. And, you know, I think that since you accomplished a lot of your major goals in 2022, 2023 is going to look like more wide open. And that goes for anybody listening to this and just anybody in general. Like, you know, whatever you guys put your mind to, and if you could crank it out like in the first month, first 2 months or whatever, you'll come to realize that the months following, you have so much more time to do like other things that you never thought you could do. Like, you know, whether you wanted to like read a book or like really work out or just like do the most random things you could think of. Like, you know, a lot of those like small goals that you have can actually be done in such a little amount of time. It's just a matter of if you're actually going to put your mind to it.
Yeah. You know, I think that you said like read a book. I think that's also what I want to do in 2023 is read a book a month.
Yeah.
I want to read a lot more.
I was thinking about that earlier, and like I know a month isn't necessarily feasible for me right now, so I was actually thinking like a book a quarter. So like, you know, like one every 3 months basically. That seems a little bit more feasible for me, especially because like I'm not the type to like to read. So you know what I mean? It's like one every 3 sounds feasible.
I think a book every month for me is feasible. You know, I want to read more. Yeah. I want to find something that makes me like challenges me mentally.
Yeah. Well, also, now that you mentioned this, one of the big things I want to try to do this year is that, well, it really bugs me when I look at my phone and it says, let's say I'm on Instagram or like on my phone for like 5 hours a day. I want to try to get that to an average of like 2 hours a day. Like, I don't want to be on my phone for 5 hours a day. And it's like the little things that you can do, right? Like whether you are like running or reading a book or just clearly just doing something else. Because if you think about you being on your phone and staring at it for 5 hours out of the day, it's like, what could you have done in like 1, 2, or at least 3 of those hours, you know?
Yeah.
Granted, it's like replying to messages and whatnot, but man, if I could just get to a point where I'm on my phone for at max 2 hours a day, I'd be lit.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I think that's a good one.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's good.
I also want to be like less like sad in my, like my waves of sadness that I get.
Yeah.
Because I am, like, I will say that, like, and I think a lot of people experience that where they get waves of sadness.
Yeah.
I want to just have less of those. I want to be more happy.
Well, I think that goes back to your former New Year's resolution. Like, you kind of just not have to give a fuck about a lot of things.
It's not giving a fuck. It's
but it really...
It's just like not being so hard on myself.
Yeah. I mean, again, that comes with just not giving a fuck. Like, the reasons why you're hard on yourself is why.
Because I just think I'm not good.
Yeah. But if you don't give a fuck whether you think you're good or not, you're just going to keep on going and you're just not going to care. And if you don't care about either being good or bad and just like existing and doing your thing, you're not going to be hard on yourself. And, in your particular case, like, you're not going to be sad.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I had to practice that like a lot, like, over the past couple of years. It's not, at least for me, it wasn't something that like I could do like in a year, and that's perfectly fine, right? But it's to like really get into this mentality and this habit of just like, I'm not in a race with anybody. I only have to focus on my own thing, and I'm just going to keep on going. And I don't care if anybody notices. It's just a rat race between me, myself, and I. Yeah. So, the more you're in that mentality of just, I'm not going to give a fuck, respectfully not give a fuck about like anything around me, and I'm just going to truly focus on myself, is the moment you start to realize like there's no point in being sad. There's no point in like this, that, or the third. Like, you're just going to keep on doing it.
Yeah, you're right.
So at least that's something that I can give you and anybody else who feels like, they go through like these spurts. Yeah. And I'm only trying to be like very strong about it because like I went through that shit. Like I would have my moments where like I'm just sad and I'm just like, you know what? Like there's no time to be sad for me. Like it's okay to like feel your emotions and sulk in them. But after a while, if you're sad and you are just like in there, only you are going to have the power to pull yourself out. And if you don't do that, then you're going to continue spiraling down this sadness pit. So that's at least something I would offer. I don't know what I'm saying. That's just something that's helped me. So I hope it helps you and everybody else who's listening.
Yeah. Well, here's to the new year and our New Year's resolutions. And
yes.
Keeping each other accountable for them.
Yeah. Well, it's on wax now, and y'all know what that means. It's forever, ladies and gentlemen. Next time we see you guys, it'll officially be 2023. And since I'm going to be traveling around the world, we're actually recording a lot of podcasts in between time so that we will still be able to supply you guys with podcasts while I'm gone. Yes. So if it sounds like this weird, like, past tense type conversation, you guys will understand what's going on.
Yeah. Nico has a very special announcement coming soon on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow him, Nico, aka Blitz, Nico, aka Blitz. You can follow me at I'm Jackie Ramirez for all our updates on our lives. And then obviously Mexipino podcast on Instagram.
That is correct. My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And this is the Mexipino podcast. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.